This is Hannah Belli talking about American Abstractionists in the 1920s. Abstract Expressionists integrated diverse strands of early 21st American art and culture with contemporary European modernism. Influences include Surrealism, Synthetic Cubism, and Neoplasticism. Surrealism is a movement concerned with giving expression to the subconscious. Cubism is creating landscape, figure, and still life in essentially geometric forms. Neoplasticism is reducing all the arts to the basic objective elements. Expressionism is creating an emotional approach to the concept, execution, and approach that is essentially expressionist. Many abstractionists challenge great abstract artists such as Picasso and Kandinsky. William D. Kooning paints a picture of an abstract woman titled Woman 1. He eliminates composition, light, arrangement, and relationship. This modern art creates a more diverse group of artists, including a different gender, socio-cultural environment, and geography. Female artists such as Helen Frankenthaler paint themes such as place, seasons, references from literature, dance, and music. African American artists such as Norman Lewis painted in expressive palettes and calligraphic lines. Homosexual artists also became very popular through abstract expressionists. Some include Jasper Johns and Andy Warhol. Life magazine takes a picture of the early influencers, labeling them the Irrisibles, giving them a group identity and common purpose. This movement produced formalism, which is analyzing lines, colors, and forms presented. Some art critics say that the style is so reductive that there is little room for development, and that changing course would shrink bold trademarks. Expressionism introduces qualities of irony, vagueness, and secretiveness in pop culture. Expressionism was developed in New York around the 1920s after World War I and declined in the 1950s. Expressionism was America's first avant-garde and was considered new, unusual, and experimental. In the 1920s, American abstractionists were considered inferior to Europeans, but in the 1940s, American abstractionists became the most popular. Witch hunts against communist sympathizers begins in the 1920s, and America's optimism after World War II morphs with power and paranoia. This creates a great influence for art. This art form is known as a staple of the Great Depression and was influenced by social realism and regionalists. Most abstractionists are known to paint their inward spiritual struggle and often fill their canvases with abstraction and color, most importantly, vigorous gestural expressionism. Abstractionists were known for their fight and balance between their self-expression and the chaos of their subconscious. American abstractionists were known for their monumental-sized paintings, romantic mood, and expression of freedom. This art form was mostly known by male artists and for its paint splatter technique, which was mostly recognized by Jackson Pollock, who created this drip technique in 1947. Color was seen as expressive and as an emotional object. Bold colors juxtaposed with textures, forms, angular, uneven, and vivid objects. Newman's zip paintings were vertical bands of color down the middle of a canvas, which symbolized unity rather than division. This art form was also known as action painting, when a canvas was seen as an area in which to act, rather than to reproduce, redesign, analyze, or express an object. The object was represented as a struggle or a dance with the subconscious.